Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Update X, where you get the latest and the hottest political views and everything that is happening around Kenya and across the globe. Today, we are joined by our friend. She's calling live from Berlin in German. We call her the Queen of Politics, Painkiller. She injects into Kenyan politics in a way that you cannot imagine. So, Painkiller, how are you doing? How is German and the Europe at large?
Okay, good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Yes. Yeah. Germany, we are good. We are still on winter season. There is a too much cold. So huku bado kuna baridi sana.
Yeah.
We are just coping. We are just coping with that cold and keeping ourselves warm because this weather, you might catch a cold, have some respiratory diseases and all that stuff, but we are coping well. And I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight.
Karibu
so
sana.
that we can talk 1, 2, 3 about our political landscape in Kenya. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so our viewers, welcome back once again. Today we want to speak about the current political temperature in the country. There are a lot of things that are going on. The opposition, the ODM, the broad-based, a lot of things are happening. Is the opposition united? Is ODM into government? These are the questions that a lot of people are asking, and this is what we are here to unfold and speak the truth as the way and things as the way they are. Recently have seen Mama Ida also being nominated in the UNEP position, and a lot of things and speculations are going on as to whether she should accept the position ya kuchukua that mantle, or some people are saying that the position is beneath her standards. Others think that it's okay for her to take the job. Unafikiria namna gani? Nianze na Walter Painkiller. Painkiller. Unaonaje?
Yes.
How do you see hii mambo ya Mama Ida Odinga being elected into the UNEP position by President William Ruto? Should she accept the position and if she accepts the position, how much will it affect the ODM and the broad-based government, to be in specific?
Okay. First of all, I would say thank you to the president for such opportunity to be given to a lady who has been part of the Kenyan democracy and all the things that have been happening in political spectrum. She has been there beside our fallen hero, Raila Amolo Odinga. But okay, for this matter, I can say that this was a very good move, both politically and in ownership of her being with Raila all through. So this endorsement or this appointment is a positive one, and she should accept it. She should accept it with the 2 hands, and she should also be open about it to the people of ODM and to avoid to avoid politicization, because most of the people are they have been politicizing this matter. But in real sense, the matter of appointing this lady is a very positive move, and it is like a token of appreciation for her being there for us. Because to us, we call her Milpin, meaning the mother of the nation, because she has been there as the mother of opposition. Another thing, what I can say about this is that the appointment of UNEP position, people of Luo community and ODM fraternity, this move has totally decreased the amount of hostility nature in ODM and in Luo community.
Hostility towards the president or towards the government?
Towards the government, towards the president, because there was that mindset. You see, because we believe that Ruto is a cunning man, we don't trust him. But the moment he came up with appointment of Mama Ida Odinga, this move has shown some guaranteed powerful friendship between the Odinga family and the current government as a guarantee of working together in future, because the person, you cannot appoint someone if you are not ready to work with them, or if you don't have a space for them in your heart. You can't give them such positions if you are not in good terms with them, or if you don't mean well to them. So this move is a very positive move for the whole ODM fraternity. And it has helped reduction of hostility nature towards the president, even though some wrangles within the party is causing chaos in between the voters and the senior members of ODM. But naturally and generally, it has totally reduced a certain amount of hostility nature in Luo Nyanza and the ODM fraternity. And the conformity of this is that we had how Winnie was talking on that. There was a post circulating on social media about Winnie talking positive about the president being closer to the family. And when she said that she's opposing the president, but she doesn't hate the president. So this brought a certain positivity and reduced also hostility, because you see, Kenyans, from the foundation that we came from since independent, we've been taught that politics, when you hate someone politically, you should hate them even in real life. So you see, we misunderstand what politics is, because I can disagree with you, but I don't hate you. I just disagree with your ideologies on matters of politics, but I don't hate you. But the problem with Kenyans now, we take it oppositely. We hate you with everything about you. That is the problem. So when Winnie said that, I don't hate the president, I oppose him, but I don't hate him. He's been close to us.
I also think that, personally, I think that the president may not be meaning a goodwill for ODM. In such a matter, you find that during these political tension moments in ODM, where you have two factions, the yes and the no's, and the president is coming up and telling them that, okay, you can see I'm even appointing your, let me put it, mama yenyu wa chama into these government positions. And so it's basically telling them that, okay, if she's going to, if Winnie is, if Ida Odinga is going to accept this position, she'll basically be telling the other people, the ones, the likes of Babuino, Edin Sifuna, she'll be telling them that, okay, you guys, you already know my stand. My stand is with the government. So it's either you choose to be here in ODM or you choose to leave and join the united opposition. You can see, so he's putting Mama Ida in a tight spot. Huh?
Yeah, due to our political orientation and misinterpretations of circumstances and situations, people might predict things differently. Okay, when she accepted this unit appointment, it is kind of tricky with our political spectrum, because some people will say that, oh, you see Mama Odinga ameenda the other side, sasa amekubali hii kitu. But let us put politics aside and some duties. We must also understand that we have duties to fulfill as the people of a great nation like Kenya. So Mama Ida being appointed to that position she's just going to fulfill her duties.
Yeah, that's true.
So she's going. Politicized.
Yeah, it's true. But at a moment like this one, we must also not deny that it's a political season, and we are brewing, and things are brewing for elections. And when an appointment comes at such a time, obviously the president is targeting ODM and those one are opposing the broad-based government.
Yes, that is the mindset. That is the mindset behind the appointment. That is the mindset controlling our political spectrum. But what I can say is that she should not refuse to take that appointment. She should not dare to refuse this appointment. Why? Because we need to understand that responsibilities are responsibilities and politics is politics. So she can accept that position, but she can still have her stand. So it will be up to her to give us the direction. You accepted the appointment. What is your stand? Are you also going to lean on the mind of many that now that you have been appointed, so you have to align with what Ruto want from you? No, it is up to her. Okay, you accepted the appointment. You accepted this job opportunity. Are you also going to fall to that? You are going to also to make people believe that now that you accepted this, you must accept what Ruto wants from you. So it will be up to her. It's just generally up to her to give us the direction. She can accept the appointment, but came out and say, okay, despite me accepting that appointment, my political stance stays.
But in most cases, you'll find like we saw what happened with Muturi when he was opposing what the government was saying during when he was still as CS, and he had to vacate the position. And if Mama Odinga, if Winnie joins, if Ida joins, she'll basically be telling us that okay, I'm still, you cannot be preaching water and taking wine. So you'll basically be telling us that I'm taking this position, but I'm not in agreement. So why are you not in agreement and you're telling us that I'm taking this position? We know that is a responsibility as a citizen, and as a responsibility, she can either say yes or no. Because I believe
but where
where
is the problem? Where is the problem? I don't see the problem when she accepted the role and also stay on her political stances. It will be wrong for her to politicize the situation by accepting the appointment. It will be wrong for her to accept the situation, to accept the appointment, and again align herself with what Ruto wants from him, not because she wanted it, but because of that position that she's being offered. Now she has to align with what Ruto wants. That is the problem now. If it reached that point, then that is totally wrong. She can accept the appointment, but stays on her political stances. And if ODM, as we wait for the anticipated collaboration, it will depend on the anticipated collaboration. If the talks that are ongoing went through and they agreed to work together, then the situation of Mama Ida coming up as a negative will not be. It will just disappear in between, because if there is a collaboration and Mama Ida has been given that opportunity to work as the UNEP, as our new UNEP, then there will be nothing like that. It will cover up for everything. But as it stands, before the collaboration and now the appointment, it is up to her. It is up to her to give us the difference. It is up to her to distinguish between the UNEP appointment and now her political stances. Can this UNEP appointment affect her political stances? Or she will just keep her ground, will just stand her ground. So it is only up to her, because the situation it is up to her. The decision she make, whatever she will say out there, it will be up to her.
I think we'll look into seeing how she responds to it. When she speaks about it openly to the nation, then we'll get to know her stance in these matters. And I think it will shift how ODM members, the yes and the no and the yes sessions, how things will develop from there.
Yeah, before
Uh-huh.
let me cut you for a while. I think there is this video
Mm.
circulating on social media when she was saying thank you to the president, and also telling the people, trying to tell people what she has been going through as a widow.
Mm.
So she, on that video, when she was in a certain church, I think so,
Yeah.
she came out clean and said thank you to the president and the people who stood up by her in the tough times. So this all these point out to be it points out to be a positive feedback from her. And I don't think she is negative about the appointment, because all the things she said was kind of positive language, being a positive message being passed through them. So it means that there is a possibility of her accepting this appointment. The possibility and the chances are very high for her to accept this appointment, because all she has been talking, it is very positive. The way she say thank you and all that she has been going through, it sounds positive. So there is a positivity somewhere. There is a positivity that she will accept it.
Mm-hmm.
The possibility
Moving,
is there.
yeah, sure. And moving on from
Yeah.
the matters of ODM, here we come to the united opposition side, where we have different opinions are coming out from different leaders. We don't know if they will be united in this coming election, or we can see some disagreement on matters to do with some election posts. Some are saying that we are going to give you, Gachagua said recently that he had aligned with Wiper, that they'll be giving them Nairobi seats, the gubernatorial race, the MC, the women reps, and so on. And you can also see Kalonzo came up and say that no, we have no such agreement in such matters. And we can just see the fractures that are going on in this opposition, and we are like, will this continue to be the united opposition? Do they even stand a chance with William Ruto? Walter?
Can respond.
You can see, do they even have a chance with William Ruto if they continue like this? What are their chances, by the way, when you come to a particular point ya kusema that, okay, indeed, we have a strong candidate. Who's going to run for the president in 2027? Yeah, Penkiller.
Okay. First of all, when I look at opposition, the way they are behaving, I just look at them and say, oh my God. Because you see, from the word go, when Gachagua departed, or after the impeachment of Gachagua, he started acting out of vengeance. And in politics, it's all about strategic calculation, which is lacking in opposition, in united opposition. There is a big gap between their political graphs and how they channel their issues. Because Gachagua, instead of installing his party, you see, if I reflect from what Ruto did in 2021, 2020, after they parted ways with the president, Ruto stayed calm. He was calmly doing his things in a very strategic way. He even stayed focused. He was totally focusing on how to install his party. And that is why Ruto managed to invade.
Yes? Are you with us?
Region to an extent that they went to the coastal region and looked for another political machinery called Muhammad Ali and Hassan Omar. He managed to shelter these two, and he invaded ODM stronghold in Mombasa. If you look at the votes that Omar Hassan got and the votes that were meant for Abdulsamad,
Yeah.
almost Omar Hassan got a lot of votes. This means that there was a well-planned, a well-structured party, a well-installed party in that region, and that weakens ODM in that region. Even the votes that the president himself got, they were almost tying with Raila. It was not bad. So Ruto had a plan how to install his party, and he stayed calm. He didn't have all these times of yapping here and there. No. Ruto was calm, focusing on
He's
his
a strategic
plans.
man.
He's a strategic man. He used all the strategies, and he was calm. You see, Gachagua is not calm.
Yeah.
Tell me which opposition leader walk from one radio station to another radio station, talking like an activist. You see, what Gachagua is doing is like he's now behaving like an activist who is struggling to be known.
But I think
To be known
one of the very big problems with him is that he's only going to the radio station that is speaking his language. You know, like when I'm not from his community, then I'll not be able to even understand what he's communicating, because I'm not expecting that I want to a translator there. He's telling me, okay, word by word, he's telling me this. Wantua nyumba, I want, okay, atua nyumba. You're like, okay, what are you trying to say? That are you only communicating with your people and the rest of us are isolated as Kenyans? And so I think that is one of his biggest problems that will really affect him in the coming elections, as to say, because we'll only be knowing him as a Murima leader, not as a national leader.
Okay, he has been in different media houses. One of them, Citizen TV. I think KTN too, right?
Yeah.
KTN and all that. So this is you see, he's showing us, he's showcasing how insecure he is, to an extent that he thought that going to those media houses will shake Ruto. In fact, he's now playing himself. Yani, he's just exposing how weak he is. That is what Gachagua is doing. Gachagua is exposing how weak he is. He was only basing his political potential on hostility. And that is why every time you saw you find out there is peace in the political realm, Gachagua has to come up with something. Recently, he came up with gun attack and kidnapping, whatever, just to cause chaos and sympathy, to attract attention, sympathy seeking, and all that stuff, to cause chaos. Because his political potential is based on chaos and hostility. So wherever there is peace in the political spectrum, his momentum is going down. So he must keep the fire burning by causing chaos and all that stuff. This means that this guy has no powerful potential, or he has not rooted himself well, to an extent that he can be a threat. His threats are just seasonal. His capacity is just a seasonal capacity, which can be cleared up in no time, because when there is calmness in a political spectrum, like for example, as we speak, if the UDA and ODM became one, this will reduce a lot of hostility nature in our country. So let us go to the right point now. Let me just go straight to the point. Gachagua and his team, now that they're planning to, there is anticipated collaboration between the DCP and the Jubilee.
Yeah.
The question is, who is the main sponsor? Who is the main sponsor of this collaboration? Because as we know very well, Gachagua cannot sponsor the whole team.
But they say Gachagua is a rich man. They
He's
say that
the
speculations are that he's the one who funded the president. He's among the people who funded the president seat. That's why he was given the deputy president position. And from that, you can say that, okay, this man is a rich man. And he normally says, I am a rich man, I own apartments, I own buildings, I own businesses in this country. They are all well known. So
It is okay.
we can say that he's got some
When it
shares.
comes,
Uh-huh.
when it comes to national politics, you see, Gachagua, you see, in politics, we have to manipulate people and say we are high and low, whatever. That's normal. But when we come to think of it, when it comes to national politics, where now that you are standing solely depending on yourself, you see, he's talking about Ruto, financing Ruto. Ruto has his own money. Ruto was the deputy president and he finished his term. Means he has also his funds. He has also his money. So when he talk of how financing Ruto, we cannot listen to him completely. We cannot listen to him because we know that Ruto also has his own share, and he can also speak like that for people to see how supreme he was and diminishing Ruto through that. So if we don't go deeper into that, let's just go straight to what I was trying to say. Let me just go straight to what I was trying to say. I'm saying this. Between DCP and Jubilee, we have one kingpin of the mountain, which is still Uhuru Kenyatta, despite the mountain saying whatever, despite the kingship tussles, all that. But what we know is that Uhuru Kenyatta is still the kingpin of Mount Kenya. So when we think, then we come to sponsorship. Uhuru Kenyatta is richer than Gachagua because this guy came from a family where money has been there. They are the Kenyans. They are the owners of the country. We can just say that in short. So Uhuru Kenyatta is the greatest. He's the greatest sponsor, then followed by Gachagua, then Kalonzo, and the rest. So now that they want to combine forces and work together, will their self-ambitions allow them? And what if they fail to get what they wanted? And before we go to that point of failing, how will they share this meat that they want to hunt among themselves? Kalonzo want the meat. Uhuru Kenyatta want a piece of that meat. Those people who are under them, people like Eugene Wamalwa, Natembeya, they're also there with the purpose of getting a share. The problem will be how they are going to share the meat they are hunting, which is the presidential and the government itself. So how they are going to share this meat is the problem, because someone like Gachagua will not accept to be given just maybe a hand of this meat or whatever. He would want a better portion of this meat, because he himself said he's fighting so hard to get what he lost. So it means that he will not accept just some kind of random part of the meat. He would like to
He wants a
choose
share,
for
a big
himself
share.
the portion.
Nilikuwa nasema anataka
Big share of this guy. Kabisa. So then someone like Kalonzo, he also has his people. Wakamba wako nyuma yake wengi wanataka kitu. Na he can't accept to be given just some kwato ya hii miti. Haezi kula kwato ya ng'ombe, atataka pia kitu kizuri. Then the sponsor mwenyewe sasa yule mkubwa ambao ni Uhuru Kenyatta, atataka sasa yeye pia apate kitu kizuri,
alete pia watu wake.
It is about so hii share vile wataganyana ndio itakuwa shida. Na kuna Martha Karua, kuna kina nani, wako wengi tu. United Opposition imejaa watu wengi sana. So the more they are, the problem it is to share the part of meat. So hapo ndo kutaanza wrangles within them. Fulani hataki kupewa kichwa, anataka mgongo. Fulani anataka mkia huo, all that stuff. So they will start fighting, and again wengine watoke, because politics is about interests and ambitions. If they are not fulfilled, you look for a better place. So where is that better place? Government iko, mkono iko wazi, mlango iko wazi. Will you suffer in darkness and there is a light somewhere? No, you will have to go to that place where there is light. So hii mrengo wa DCP na Jubilee, if they don't sit down and do a total consultative meeting on how they are going to move forward, it will be messy. It will be even more messier than the side of UDA and ODM. Because in opposition, wako wengi, there are many. But in ODM and UDA, it's just two parties coming together, and they look for other people around and join them and form a big alliance and move on to the main goal. But on this side, there are too many. And Ruto knows these people. Ruto is aware of each and every person, how they think, how they react, and he knows how these people can fight. He knows how to play his cards. He knows where to press for them to fight. And some people, if you want someone there, he knows how to get these people. So he's just looking at them. The only thing he's now focusing on is how to get ODM on his side by any means.
And that will be the deal breaker.
If ODM team will join Ruto enough, the other side, what is there? It's just that mountain. Alafu, do you know the problem between Uhuru and that team, the whole team, is that Uhuru Kenyatta is bargaining because he's the kingpin of the mountain. Gachagua, who claims he's the kingpin, also bargaining using the mountain. You see, two forces are bargaining using one element.
Yeah.
So different, just one. Uhuru Kenyatta anaweza influence to Mount Kenya. As it stands right now, anaweza tu kuinfluence Mount Kenya. Kalonzo haezi kuinfluence Coast. Haezi kuinfluence Western.
Can you hold on a bit? Walter, akona something here to say. Walter.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to interject kiasi. It's interesting to hear from you and how you perceive Kenyan politics while you're in one of the first world countries. That tells you how technology is powerful. So you are able to know what's going on in Kenya or even virtually. But we can talk about politics. We can talk about how Gachagua, who someone is funding who, how someone has enough funds to sponsor Akina Ida. Those all kinds of politics. We can talk about those things. But sometimes there's a higher possibility and there's a higher probability of us not getting into the core factors why we are talking about these things. And maybe since you are in a first world country, would you mind talking about how politics are done there and how leadership is run there, and what do you think we should emulate from such a first world country that you are there? Maybe since you are there physically, maybe you have a different experience from people like us who just know these countries from the internet. So would you mind talking about how politics are done there and how leadership is done there? And how can we emulate leadership from these first world countries?
Okay. Thank you so much for acknowledging the political spectrum of Europe. And what I can say, I think what you're trying to do right now is you are trying to bring in a comparative study between the political spectrum of Europe and the political spectrum of Kenya. So when we talk about the political spectrum of Europe, it is very different from what we have in Kenya due to civic orientation. In Europe, people have the civic education. They understand how civic engagement is done. People are the mindset that controlling politics in Europe is different from Kenya.
Yeah,
In
sure.
Kenya, we do kind of politics whereby we allow tribal politics to control our thinking. We are highly politically oriented. We are politically oriented, but we lack civic education on serious matters that should be the main concern, instead of just voting or praising our own tribes and whatever. So there are many differences between the political spectrum of Europe and the political spectrum of Kenya. But politics, the way it is done, is just the same. People also go to the street. People also do all those kind of things. But the civic engagement is different from what we have in Kenya. There is a very significant difference. There are a lot of things taking place in Europe, and the channel they are using and how they approach political spectrum is very different. I can just say there is many difference between political spectrum of Kenya and the political spectrum of Europe. So what we can adopt is that we need to engage in civic education so that we get our society enlightened on crucial points which they need to understand, like how they should approach political spectrum, and how they should be listening to every political message being passed to them during campaign, and how they should be reflecting on the messages being passed to them to the real life. You see,
Yes.
this is where we went wrong.
And speaking of civic education, what is the percentage of, let's say, the age gap or the age group that is politically active in Europe compared to us in, let's say, Kenya?
What I can tell you is that every political wave that is taking place around the world, or what I can say, let me just put it simple. Right now we have Gen Z uprising. It is everywhere. It is everywhere because we are influenced by social media. What we see in social media influence what we do on the ground. So when the Gen Z from Europe saw what happened to Nepal, they also started causing their own chaos. They also have their issues. Yeah, they also have their issues there. So the political landscape of Nepal was affecting Europe, was affecting Kenya, was affecting USA. It was just affecting, you see, the world. We are
came like
connected
COVID.
in this world. We are just connected. We are just connected. You see, what is happening in Europe, and the people from Kenya will see and find out, oh, this thing is good. Oh, let us also try it here. So that is how Gen Z came to be. So if you see how wild our Gen Zs are, even the Europe here, Gen Zs, they are also wild like that. And I can remember last year they were even clacking. They're just wild the way it is, because we are reflecting and we're also evolving. You see, the old styles of politics are fading, and now the new type of politics are coming up because we are influenced by what is taking place. We are influenced by social media. And if you want to know that nowadays the world thinks together because of social media, wherever there is a challenge song on TikTok, you will find out that Kenyans are dancing the same song. US, they are dancing the same songs, both sex. Women are dancing the same song. Men are dancing the same song.
Yeah.
Even if it is Swahili. Nowadays there is this song of this young man from Tanzania. Sijui akiniita ninakam. The song akiniita ninakam, wazungu wanaicheza, Waafrika wanaicheza, wanaume kwa wanawake wote wanaicheza. So we are influenced by social media. So the political mindset ya mtu mwenye ako Europe anaweza fikiria kama Mkenya. But the difference is that how we approach now the political affairs and democracy at large. It's now different because of our background and environment that we are coming from.
Yeah.
So, because if you look at a country like Saudi Arabia or Oman or these Arab countries, you'll never find GNZs on the road behaving like wild whatever.
Mm.
It is the percentage of GNZ acting wild is very low compared to other nations because the system that runs the political spectrum is different. It is not a democratic one.
Mm-hmm.
But countries with the democratic democratic system, those countries that under democracy, they have different way of doing their things because the democracy allow them to do what they have to do because there is freedom of speech and freedom of whatever. So you are free to do what is right, and there is all that body governing all that. But countries like Saudi Arabia and other countries in Arab nations where there is no democracy, there is difference in their political spectrum in comparison to countries with democracy. You see?
Yeah,
So this is the problem. This is the difference.
Yeah. Walter?
Yes.
Walter?
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I would really love to ask, apart from what you've just said about civic education that we have in Europe and we lack in Kenya, apart from civic education, what are some of the things that make Europe work? Like, what are some of the systems that make Europe to work? And
To Singapore.
Okay. First of all, if we talk about Singapore, my brothers, it's about dictatorship. Are you guys ready to rule to allow someone to rule with iron fist? Because that is what make a country. You see, there is nothing that we will ever do with a democratic nation with a president that follow democratic rules and all that stuff. There is nothing. Believe me, there is nothing. All nations that have come up to the standard they are today, it is because of the dictatorship form of government that was ruling before the current government. So if we want to go to Singapore, we must accept that dictatorship is a must and that is the path to go. Are we ready for dictatorship form of government? And who can we trust with such power? That is the problem. And Kenyans, because of our political orientation, we can't allow dictatorship. We want freedom of speech.
Yeah,
we want to call Kasongo and do all that. We cannot dare go that path. And because we can never go that path, we will never arise economically. We will never reach a developed country level because we lack the elements that should equip us with the essential tools that take us to that level, which we lack. You talk about Europe and you are asking about the systems that we should be adopting in order to enhance our economy or enhance our governance, enhance leadership in Kenya. What I can say is that Europe is a developed country and Kenya, we are still developing.
Third world country.
Europe has already developed. Yeah, that's a wealthy country. It has already developed. And we are still developing. And at the moment we are developing, we are also having so many economic crises coming up each and every year because of many situations, debt. So all these are weighing us down. And when we talk about adoptive ideologies that can help us reach to the level, I can say we have a long way to go because some of the things that we must shed off, it is hard for us to shed them off in order to gain that to gain that momentum to get to that level. And as I said, one of them is dictatorship. Are we ready for dictatorship?
You're not ready.
Are we ready we are not ready for dictatorship? Are we ready to learn are we ready to acquire financial knowledge? If If at the beginning of Ruto's tenure, he initiated a Hustler Fund and we misused it. In fact, people are taking Hustler Fund for domestic uptake, which is very wrong financially. According to finance rules, you cannot take loans for domestic uptake. You must take a loan to promote your business or to facilitate cash within your business corridors so that you maintain the cash flow and you get the profit. That is when you can use your profit on leisure and other things. But the problem we have in Kenya is that we take loans for domestic uptake and leisure. Tomorrow we are drowning in debt. We are drowning in debt. Instead of then we don't have a plan to get out of that debt because we lack financial knowledge and financial discipline. So how can you help a country with higher percentage, a country like Kenya, where we have 80% is occupied by youths? 80% of Kenyan citizens are youths. So these are youths who want cheap life. They want easy things. They don't want to strain. They don't want to learn. In fact, the problem we have in Kenya is the fact that we politicize every good initiative. Like Hustler Fund, it was politicized. Someone like Oparanya coming out and telling people, don't pay Hustler Fund. This is a billionaire. He has worked, he has served 2 terms. He served the people of his county, 2-term governor, and he has money. He saved money. He's a billionaire. He's a millionaire. Telling you, someone who has nothing, who must also learn, who is struggling to feed a family, not to pay debt in order to fail. You see, that thing, if I remember what Oparanya said, sometimes I feel like shedding tears because he was misleading our people. He was misleading our people.
But I think
despite
I think some of the problems we have as a country, if I may cut it short, some of the problems we have as a country is that we are having, as we say, we are having a budget corruption. Yeah. When you look at our overdrafts and you look at the things that, and the projects that are supposed to be done, and then you see how the government has structured everything and the finances. Okay, you're saying, okay, this is a good plan, but at the end of the day, how do the county governments and the national government deliver? In that, when you come to speaking about matters to do with corruption, you're talking about our country losing about 3 billion shillings per day. You can imagine how much money per month or even per year we are losing as a nation. So if we as a nation can let our system work for us well, and all this money that is being lost every day, if we cut that even into that just one, let's say 1.5 billion, and then let's say the other billion, we know how we can do it well as a nation, then I believe we'll be going from somewhere to somewhere. Yeah, and then there's still project, the government starting other projects and then leaving the other projects behind. I think that one is costing us as a nation, and we are struggling to develop in some very crucial matters. Yeah, you can proceed.
Okay. So when Walter was asking what we should be adopting on other countries, from other countries, and try to make it work in Kenya, one of them is that we should make sure that the bodies that deals with corruption is well empowered and can be trusted. You see, our institutions we don't trust in our institutions because there is corruption in our country. So for us to eradicate corruption in Kenya, we must first empower the bodies that governs our country, and the bodies that deals with the corruption. There must be transparency and accountability on such bodies, that we may build trust on them, so that wherever we live, as we know that we have bodies that can counter corruption and also deal with it in accordance to the standard that we wanted. But before we go there,
Mm-hmm.
all these things that are happening in Kenya, it is because of the political mindset and the political tension in our country and the orientation. Because everything that is happening in Kenya, it must be politicized. It must be politicized. In Europe, every government official has their mandate, and you must do your mandate. And the corruption percentage in Europe is very low in comparison to Kenya.
I think
Corruption percentage in Europe
there is
is
a
very
very,
low in comparison to Kenya.
I believe there is a very tight system in Europe that normally checks how cash flow goes into their representatives' account or something like that.
Government there.
But when you come into
Yes,
Kenya,
that is why
uh-huh.
That is why I said we must first empower the bodies that deals with corruption and make sure we can trust in these institutions. We must first build trust in these institutions by empowering them with enough tools that are capable of dealing with the corruption in accordance to the standard that we wanted as a country to emancipate ourselves from this virus called corruption. And until we do that, we will be facing many situations. We will be facing many chaos, because when corruption is a cancer, we cannot treat it one day and it ends.
Yeah.
It must be dealt with accordingly. We can reduce corruption. Okay, most African countries there is corruption. So what we can do in Kenya, we can reduce the amount of corruption in our country to create a conducive environment for business. You know, many investors out there, they are afraid of even investing in Kenya. They say that country is very corrupt. Okay, nilikuwa nasema before we change what is happening in our country, we must first invest in these bodies that are meant to deal with the corruption. We must first invest and equip these institutions that are meant to deal with the corruption in our country. We must also create a conducive environment in these institutions that can help build trust between these institutions and the public. Because in our country, there is this mindset controlling our country that our country is corrupt. And this mindset of our country is corrupt has brought in a rift between the public and the institutions.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
why you see the public, we don't trust the institution, even the judiciary. We say they are corrupt. We have that mindset of there is just corruption. Even if we are on the wrong, we still believe that the judiciary and whatever, it is corrupt. So we need to build a system that can make the public trust in the institutions that are meant to deal with the corruption and equip the institution, creating a conducive environment for them to work and produce the standard of to produce a standard services that we as the public anticipate from them.
Yeah,
From there now we move to the next level. How are we going to deal with the political orientation in our country? We must inject civic education to our people. We must teach our people how to approach political spectrum, what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
What are the ways that we can use to advocate for what we believe without causing chaos, without bringing causing chaos that lead to casualties and later keep the ferry between political spectrum and the public. Like right now, we go out there and say, Ruto ni muuaji, our president is a killer. And if you look at the scenario, you find out that we as the public contributed to that killing. Because if we had a better form of advocating for what we believe in, a better form of advocacy, we would have not gone to the street and caused chaos leading to casualties.
Do the government listen to other language apart from violence? That is the main question, because
You see,
you're
that is why
uh-huh.
I want you to understand that is why I said first we must build a trust between the public and the institution.
Mm.
There must be agreement between the public and the institution. If we believe in our institutions that provide protection to the public and provide services to the public, institutions, one of the institutions is the parliament. If we can believe in our parliament, if you go out there, you ask any Gen Z, do you believe in the parliament? Wakwambia watu wote ni wezi. So the moment tunasema watu wote ni wezi, mean we don't trust these people. So if we build that trust between the public and the institution like judiciary, the parliament, and now the body that dealing with the corruption, the EAC. So when we build that trust, when we build that trust with the institution, all these misunderstanding will be sorted. We will be using a very effective way of advocating for what we believe in. That is what is happening in Europe. They believe in the institution. They believe in those institutions. So wherever they go out there, even to demonstrate or to picket, they do it peacefully because they know they will be heard. But in Kenya, we go out there not to advocate for what we believe in. We go out there because our country, we've been living in chaos ever since independence. We've been living in chaos ever since second liberation. So our form of advocacy is blended in chaos, woven in anger, woven in vengeance. We go out there to demonstrate what we believe in, but instead of demonstrating, we start fighting our properties, burning properties of our fellow Kenyans, stealing from them, causing chaos. And that is something that is not happening in Europe and other countries. You will find them walking on the street peacefully, taking pictures, walking, shouting peacefully until they finish what they started. But in Kenya, you will find out that thieves are now taking advantage of that demonstration. They are causing chaos, provoking the police that later on result into casualties. So these are the things that we must address first. Going to the street to advocate for what we believe in, it is not wrong. What is wrong is the method and approach we use to get what we want. So if we compare the situation in Europe and other countries and now compare it with Kenya, you will find out that in Kenya there is a very different method that we use that later on, instead of resulting into resolution, it is even causing more harm to our people and to our economy.
But sometimes they say action speaks better than words.
It is okay to
if
be
maybe let's say maybe the Gen Zs never protested about the finance bill back then, it would have been passed and things will be just normal. Like, okay, the parliament is just okay with the bill and everything, and you're telling them that no, this is not right, and they're still proceeding in the same direction, and you're saying them that okay, we are coming for you. No.
It's okay to demonstrate. What I'm against is the method we are using when we are demonstrating our rights as the citizens of a great nation like Kenya. The method we are using is what I am against, because going to the street to demonstrate what we believe in, it is not wrong. Generally, that is not wrong, and it is happening in every democratic nation. That is not wrong. But how do we approach this? What method are we using? How do we approach this street pocketing? How do we go to the street to demonstrate? What are we going there to do? How are we going to do it? We have wrong method. We have wrong mentality when we're going to the street. Some people go there with the mentality of stealing from the other. Some are going there to cause chaos. Some are just going there to target so and so to beat them. So this is the problem we have. In Europe, you will find people picketing peacefully. When you go to Canada and other countries, people are just picketing peacefully. They do their things, they shout in the street, yes, but they're doing it calmly. You will never have casualties and all that stuff. It is very rare. But in Kenya, that is a normal. If you heard them saying tomorrow is a Mandamano, just expect casualties because it will be chaotic. And this is the problem that we should stop. When we go out there to demonstrate our rights, let us use a method that will not result into casualties, and later on we blame it to the president who was not with us on the street. Remember, these are people who are provoking police. They are fighting police with stones. They are provoking police, breaking the laws of demonstrations. And now later on, when all these mistakes result into casualties, now they blame the president. You see where we went wrong now. So if we do follow the procedures of demonstration, of picketing, and doing it in the right way, there will be no casualties. And when we build our trust in the institution, we will be living in a country feeling comfortably, knowing that the judiciary can protect us. There is institution that can deal with the corruption. Our country, we are eradicating corruption, and we are ready to work hard. The problem with youth, we don't want to work hard. People don't want hard jobs. People, they just want free life, and this cannot happen in this age because we are advancing in technology. We are advancing in many ways. The world is advancing, the world is evolving, and we also must change our mindset. You can't solve a problem of today with the mindset of yesterday. We must change. First, we must change to accept change, then to bring change. This is what we should do as youths. But what do? We are out there. Then there is, you see, helping Kenyans is totally hard. And even if today we vote out Ruto, believe you me, the president who will come in will still face many chaos. Because there is no way you can help people who can't help themselves, and you can't help someone who believes he's aware of what he's doing, and yet you know that what he's doing will cost him later, but he refused to believe in you. He believes in his mind, and he can't empty what he has to bring in a new knowledge. That is the problem with our youth. So how are you going to help someone mwenye anakwambia hiyo pesa unanipatia haiwezi nisaidia, and you know very well when you follow the financial rules and discipline, this money can do wonders, but to him or to her anaona hiyo ni ukwana. Tomorrow they are on social media talking nonsense. Oh, government complaining all the time. People are just complaining instead of looking for solutions. And bringing change in our country is a collective responsibility. You cannot wake up and wait for the president to do whatever, and the country, you know where we get here, how we get here. We got here because of the catastrophes that were attacking our country during Uhuru's tenure. Tukiangalia Uhuru's tenure, we had many things happening. There was a coronavirus, there was invasion of locusts, there was drought. All these affected our country. Forces the previous regime to get into high debt, and these debts are there, they are growing and they're there. Now we are here to pay them, and now we want to blame Ruto for something that happened decades ago. Are we really serious? We are not. We are not serious.
But I think the
Our
government,
economy is bad because of the escalated issues.
the
These are
government,
escalated scenarios.
the
Yes.
government in
These are
office,
escalated scenarios.
the government in office is always questionable because of the promises that they made to their people, and it's always up to them to come up clean and explain to the people that these are the challenges that we are facing, this is where we are coming from, and this is where we are headed to. If they come out like that and tell us moja kwa moja, I believe as a nation we'll be able to progress forward and see how things are going to be done and in what procedure. And I think transparency is the key. Yeah, in all of these matters. I think we have had a great conversation. I'd like to give, let's say, each of you some 2 minutes. We make our closing remarks. Yeah, I believe you can speak the whole night, but we can.
You see,
we
I
should.
can speak even till morning because
Yeah,
if I look at what is happening in our country,
yeah.
I just
We can.
feel like talking.
We can speak the whole night, and okay. Walter, you can give us your closing remarks, followed by Painkiller, and then I'll close.
Well, 2 minutes for me it's too long, and yeah. So I've listened to what Painkiller was contributing, and yeah, I think the government really needs to value everyone. We don't need to I think I would disagree with what Painkiller was saying, that we need to uphold the integrity boards. Because if we uphold those organizations and we fail to pay a common policeman well, this policeman will still need that 50 bob to make sure that he puts that food on the table, because 18,000 is not enough for a policeman. So if we could, if the government could pay all the public servants good money, then I think corruption would be minimum in Kenya, and would maybe eradicate it that gradually, pole pole. But if you uphold and fund even those boards that are there to oversee the nation, and you fail to pay public servants well, I think they will need those handouts like 50 bob. Yeah, like those policemen, ukiwapatia 18,000, 15,000, they will still need those 50 bob from the matatus. If you don't pay well the judiciary and the teachers, they will still ask for those handouts and will never eradicate corruption. So I think the solutions that we should look for, I think the government should just embrace paying the public servants good money. And I think we would try and eradicate corruption gradually.
Yeah, Painkiller, you can respond to that, and you can keep it as short as possible. Probably 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Because I know you'll respond until tomorrow. 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
Hey,
Yeah.
so unajua tu. Okay, mi nita-interject hapo kwa Walter. Walter, what you are saying, I don't support you even 1 second. Because there is no way you can tell me at a policeman, even if they are paid whatever 15,000, now because they are paying less money, they can now go ahead and do whatever the short, whatever chai. My friend, that is very wrong. Stick to your salary. You want a better country, be the first person to produce that change. You want change, be part of that change. You can't tell me because I'm earning 7,000 and because my boss is throwing money everywhere and I should now still, because this salary is, come on. The moment you signed that document and said, yes, I accept this amount of money, stay with your salary, do your due diligence and work on your things. And stop being corrupt. It is as simple as that. When I'm closing, my closing remarks are, as I said, our youths should understand that change must start with them.
Yeah.
We should, the government should equip our institutions that deals with the corruption, make sure there is a conducive environment, and the government should also not allow political intersections on such bodies like EACC. Is it EACC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the body like EACC, political intersection with such bodies should not be even something to think about, because we don't want, we would not like to see political intersection with such bodies. Because the moment there is a political intersection with that body became corrupted. So we need the government to empower such bodies with enough equipments a good, conducive environment for them to work conducively and serve the people of our nation. Then the public, they should also build a trust with the government and not perceive the government as some kind of a predator. We should also try to understand what is happening in the government through civic education. We should engage in civic conversations, not just being politically. We just use political mindset to perceive things that are happening in our country. We should also omit political mindset and engage in civic educations and try to understand what is happening in our country. Then when we talk about economy, it is a collective responsibility. We must understand that to build an economy of a country to reach a certain standard is a collective responsibility. Therefore, the policies that are in place that are capable of changing our country should be respected. Like right now, we have affordable housing. This is something that is something that is good. It has brought in a new picture, and it has changed the picture of our country. Now we are turning slums into estates. This is something that is very positive, and Kenyans should just sacrifice whatever they have to allow this affordable housing project to continue, so that we can change the entire nation from slum to estate. This will be good. And when it comes to adaptation of different ideologies from other countries,
in 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to adaptation of other countries, the government should also adapt economic models that can change our country. They can go to these countries and see the economic models and try to implement it in Kenya, together with the leadership and all that. So in short, I'm saying that our country must work together without intersection of politics in different sectors. Education pia government ishughulikie, because watoto wetu wanaumia, and also health. Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate. On closing, I can say that I'll finish with the words of Wainaina, where I'll say that chuki na ukabila tuache kama taifa, especially during these moments of political tensions, and whereby we are looking forward to electioneering period. Kila mtu akuwe anajua that as a nation you are headed somewhere, and the goodwill and patriotism spirit should be filled in all of our hearts, and it's only us who can build this country, and it's only us who can destroy it. The future lies in our hands, and let's make Kenya a great country. Thank you for joining us, Penkila. We really appreciate you for your time. Tutakukaribisha tena na tena as we have more and more conversations. I know this is not the last, neither will the next be the last, and welcome again and again. We hope we hope to hear more and more from you.
And we are going together.
To our viewers, it's always telling you subscribe, like, share, and comment. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.